Alex, I am so thrilled to be doing this interview with you. At the result,
Eala's simple gesture, handing her sweat-soaked racket to a young fan, has exploded into one of the most talked-about stories in tennis. What seemed like a quiet, heartfelt moment has reportedly sparked a stunning $50 million surprise return that now has the entire sport buzzing. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't about aces or match points. It's about humanity. It's about how one spontaneous act can ripple far beyond the baseline and into boardrooms, sponsorship offices, and the global tennis community. We've all seen massive endorsement deals before. We've seen brands like Nike, Adidas, and Rolex align themselves with the biggest stars in the game. Multi-million-dollar contracts tied to Grand Slam titles and global rankings are nothing new. But this is different. According to circulating reports, the gesture toward the daughter of billionaire Sheikh Khaled Al Rashid has led to a groundbreaking sponsorship agreement. One insider's claim could be worth tens of millions of dollars per year. Not for winning a major, not for reaching number one, but for embodying something rarer: authenticity. Social media erupted within hours. Rumors spread across platforms. And then came the confirmation, an official statement from Al Rashid himself, expressing admiration not just for Eala's talent, but for her character. If the figures being discussed are accurate, this deal could redefine how brands and private investors evaluate athletes, not just by titles but by impact, by presence, by the ability to inspire beyond statistics. For Eala, often described as the pride of Philippine tennis, this moment represents more than financial security. It symbolizes validation. Proof that grace under pressure and kindness off the court can resonate just as powerfully as a blistering forehand. And the timing makes it even more compelling. Before this viral moment, Eala was grinding, traveling, competing, fighting for ranking points in a sport where life outside the top 50 can be financially unforgiving. Like many rising players, she was navigating the constant balance between ambition and sustainability. Then came one quiet exchange. A racket passed into the hands of a smiling child. No cameras staged it. No PR team orchestrated it. Just instinct. If this reported $50 million return becomes reality, it will stand as one of the most extraordinary examples of how character can shape destiny in professional sports. Because sometimes the most powerful shots in tennis aren't hit with strings. They're delivered with heart. Let's rewind the clock. The Middle East swing is no vacation. The heat in Abu Dhabi is relentless. The dry air drains you. The schedule leaves no room to breathe. And in Doha, the margins are razor thin. One loose service game and your week is over. For Eala, it's not just physical. It's emotional. She competes thousands of miles from home, carrying the expectations of an entire nation. In the Philippines, every win feels communal. Every loss is dissected. She doesn't just represent herself. She represents possibility. So when she walked onto the court for that high-profile exhibition, an event packed with royalty, executives, and VIP guests, she carried more than a racket. She carried fatigue, scrutiny, and the constant question echoing around her career. Is she ready for the top 50? The match dazzled. Long rallies, clean winners, athleticism on full display. But the scoreboard wasn't the headline that day. In the VIP section sat the young daughter of Sheikh Khaled Al Rashid. Known for his privacy and influence, he rarely inserts himself into sporting narratives. But his daughter, a devoted tennis fan, witnesses say she watched every point with wide, shining eyes, clutching a small Filipino flag and cheering not for global icons, but for Eala. When the match ended, applause echoed politely through the exclusive venue. Eala wiped her brow, packed her bag, and began the routine exit athletes know well. Then she stopped. She had noticed the little girl. Security tensed as Eala approached the VIP barrier, but the sheikh reportedly signaled for them to relax. What happened next wasn't staged. It wasn't a brand activation. It wasn't media choreography. Eala reached into her bag. Not for a towel, not for a wristband, for her match-used racket. To a professional player, a racket isn't merchandise. It's personal, it's calibrated, it's trusted, it's sacred. She handed it over the railing, smiled, and said softly, "This is for you. Keep dreaming." The crowd gasped, cameras flashed. The young girl burst into tears, gripping the racket like treasure. Sheikh Khaled rose and offered a quiet nod of respect. Eala walked away believing she had simply made a fan's day. But behind palace doors, conversations had already begun. Hours later, an official statement emerged from the Sheikh's office. It spoke less about the object and more about the gesture, about connection in a sport often dominated by contracts, egos, and transactional relationships. Then came the announcement that stunned insiders: an exclusive partnership to support Eala's career moving forward. Leaks suggest the agreement could be worth tens of millions of US dollars annually, complete with elite coaching support, access to world-class training facilities across the Middle East and Europe, and comprehensive career backing. If confirmed at that scale, it would be one of the most extraordinary athlete partnerships tennis has seen. Not born from a Grand Slam title, but from character. Because sometimes, the moment that changes everything isn't a championship point. It's a choice made when no one expects anything at all. The reported package is staggering, covering global tournament travel, elite equipment, full-time medical and nutrition teams, wild cards into major events, and access to world-class training bases. Support of that magnitude is usually associated with icons like Roger Federer or Serena Williams. Yet in this case, it wasn't triggered by a Grand Slam trophy. It was sparked by a human moment. According to circulating reports, Eala was in her hotel lobby when representatives delivered the contract. As she read through the details, emotion reportedly overwhelmed her. A short video making the rounds online shows her in tears, repeating softly, "I just wanted to make her smile. I didn't expect this. Thank you." What stood out wasn't extravagance, it was relief. Relief that the years of sacrifice, long flights, tight budgets, and relentless grinding on tour had been seen. Validated. Tennis is brutally expensive. Outside the top tier, players often fund coaching, travel, physio, and accommodation largely out of pocket. For athletes from Southeast Asia, the geographic distance from the sport's traditional hubs adds another layer of financial strain. Many promising careers stall not from lack of talent, but lack of backing. If the numbers being discussed are accurate, this partnership removes that burden. It allows Eala to focus purely on performance, on refining tactics, strengthening her body, and building toward the next tier of competition. In practical terms, that kind of infrastructure can accelerate development dramatically. Around the tour, reactions are reportedly mixed. Surprise, admiration, perhaps a hint of envy. But the broader message resonates. Character has value. Presence matters. The way an athlete carries themselves off the court can shape opportunities just as powerfully as results on it. For Sheikh Khaled Al Rashid, the move appears to be more than sponsorship. It's positioning. An investment in a young ambassador who bridges Southeast Asia and the Middle East, representing the sport's increasingly global future. Those who followed Eala's rise, from her junior breakthrough at the US Open Girls event to her steady climb through the ITF circuit, have long noted not just her talent, but her composure and humility. This moment feels less like a random windfall and more like an intersection of preparation and opportunity. Is this the inflection point that propels her toward the top 10? That depends on execution. Resources open doors, but results still require resilience, discipline, and growth. What's undeniable is this: one spontaneous act of kindness created a ripple that may redefine a career. From the court to the corridors of power, it's a reminder that sport isn't only about scorelines. Sometimes the most consequential victories don't show up on the scoreboard at all. And if there's a lesson in all of it, play hard, stay grounded, and never underestimate the power of a single, genuine gesture.